Every single product we use, from the cup you grab for your morning coffee to the chair you might be sitting in right now, it has a story. But what if I told you that most of the time, we're only hearing half of it? Yeah, there's this whole other hidden chapter that we almost never get to see. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at the human story behind our stuff. All right, let's just take a simple wooden chair as an example. We've gotten really good at telling its environmental story, right? We can do a whole cradle-to-grave analysis, figure out its carbon hotspots, and see how much material it uses. But what about the people? Were the loggers who cut down the wood paid a fair wage? Did the factory that built it help the local town, or did it just pollute their air? That right there, that's the hidden social story, and it is every bit as important. For a long time, the gold standard for measuring a product's impact has been the Environmental Life Cycle Assessment, or LCA. It's this really powerful, standardized method that lets us measure a product's environmental footprint, from the moment its raw materials are pulled from the earth, the cradle, all the way to when we throw it away, the grave. It tells us all about pollution and resource use. But that brings up a really big question, doesn't it? Is that really the whole story? I mean, if a chair is made from super sustainable wood, but it was put together in a factory with terrible, unsafe working conditions, have we really understood its total impact? And the answer, of course, is no way. This is exactly where we need to widen our view, to expand our lens. We need a tool that helps us see the people behind the product. And that tool, thankfully, has a name: Social Life Cycle Assessment. So, Social LCA, or SLCA for short, it doesn't get rid of the environmental assessment. It actually builds right on top of it. Think of it as a framework designed to look at the social and socioeconomic effects, both the good and the bad, that a product has on real people all along its life cycle. It's about finally adding that human dimension into the equation. So who are these people that an SLCA cares about? Well, we call them stakeholders, and it's a way bigger group than you might think. We're not just talking about the customer who buys the chair. It's the workers who built it, the local community that lives near the factory, it's us as consumers, and it's even society as a whole. It's really a 360-degree look at who's affected. Okay, so how does this all actually work? Is it just some vague feeling about whether a product is good or bad? Absolutely not. Just like the environmental version, SLCA is a serious, structured process that follows internationally recognized guidelines. So let's walk through how it's done. The whole thing is super systematic. You start by defining your goal, like what are we even trying to find out here? Then you map out all those stakeholders we just talked about. From there, it's a deep dive into data collection, a really thorough impact assessment, and finally, clear reporting. It's basically a full-blown investigation into a product's social life. Now, there's one step in this process that I find totally fascinating, and it's absolutely crucial. It's the second one: defining the product's functional unit. And trust me, this goes so much deeper than just saying, it's a chair. What's so cool here is how this splits a product's value in two. First, you have the technical utility, the basics. Does the chair hold your weight? Is it going to last? But then there's the social utility. Was this chair designed so a low-income family could actually afford it? Is it accessible for someone who has trouble moving? Did a local artisan make it, which helps preserve a cultural craft? An SLCA looks at both sides of that coin. Now, to answer all those questions about social utility, you obviously need the right kind of information. And capturing something as complex as human impact, well, that takes a really special approach to data. You just can't measure a community's sense of well-being or a worker's job satisfaction with numbers alone. It's impossible. And that's why SLCA relies on a mix of data. And honestly, this is where it gets both really challenging and incredibly powerful. You have to combine the hard facts with the rich context you only get from human experience. And this table here, it lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got your quantitative data, stuff you can count, like wage levels and how many safety incidents there were. But on the other, you have qualitative data, the stories you get from interviews and surveys. This tells you why the numbers are what they are, and you absolutely need both to see the full picture. So why on earth would anyone go to all this trouble? Why does digging this deep into a product's social story actually matter? Well, it's about understanding the true cost, and maybe more importantly, the true value of the things we make and buy. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? At its heart, SLCA is about accountability. It's about us moving past a really narrow focus on just the price tag and developing a real, honest understanding of how our choices actually impact people's lives, for better or for worse. And when we have this fuller picture, it just builds a better system for everybody. For product designers, it gives them what they need to create not just a good chair, but a chair that actually contributes something positive to the world. For businesses, it's a huge tool for finding risks in their supply chains and building real trust. And for us, as consumers, it gives us the power to make choices that actually line up with our values. So, the next time you pick something up, doesn't matter if it's a new phone or a simple carton of milk, just remember it has two stories. And now you know how to start looking for that second one. The only question left is, what are you going to ask about its hidden social story? Thanks so much for joining me. You know,